In today's session, we're going to continue our work looking at analog clocks and telling the time. And we're going to be looking at being able to tell the time to 5 minutes. Opening up our textbook, we can see that our opening questions all relate to our train times. And we're asked for question 1A. So before we start today's session, let's have a little reminder on what we did yesterday by answering this multiple choice question. So, if the time is 9, where should the other hand be pointed to? So if the time is 9, where should the other hand be pointing to? Is it going to be image A, image B, image C, and image D? In order to answer this question, think about what the hand that is shown is. Is it the hours or is it the minutes? And then think about what it's going to be shown, pointing to. What does that tell us? And then think about the other hand and what information that needs to tell us. So pause the video and decide whether it's A, B, C or D, and come and join me when you've got an answer. Excellent. The answer to this is D. So we're looking at 9, which means 10 minutes past 9. And we know that the small hand is the hours, and that's pointing to 9. And then we're thinking about those divisions, those jumps, and we can see the long hand, which represents the minutes, is going to be 10 minutes past the hour. And we can see that on clock D. So well done. Now today's lesson is going to be using that knowledge that you've just really used. And we're going to be continuing our ability to tell the time to 5 minutes. And we're going to link this to all that stuff we've done in the past about how to read those analog clocks, those ones with the 12 numbers in a circle and the hands that go round. Opening up our textbook, we can see that our first problem relates to our train station. And we're given 3 pieces of information. The first bit of information we're given is that all trains leave on the hour. The second bit of information we're given is the current time on the analog clock. And the third bit of information we're given is from a passenger who tells us that they've been waiting for half an hour. And question 1A is asking us, how long has it been since the last train left? So we think about this, we can look at the clock and we can start thinking about the time. So be thinking about the different methods that we were looking at yesterday. So looking at the hour hand, which number is it at? So which one is it before, which one is it after? And that will help us for identifying which hour it's going to be. Then look at the minute hand and see whether you can work out what time that's showing us. Then remember the information it says, all train leaves on the hour. So how long has it been since the last train left? For 1B, we're going to build on that knowledge. We know what time it is now. And again, looking at that information, all trains leave on the hour. How long is it going to be until the next train is going to be leaving? So question 1A, how long has it been since the last train left? And question 1B, how long will it be until the next train leaves? So pause the video and work out those 2 questions and then come back to me and we can have a look at the strategies you've been using. So before we start looking at question 1A and 1B, let's actually look at that message that's on the platform. All trains leave on the hour. What does that actually mean? Well, on the hour means at the O clock, so when the minute hand is pointing to 12. So no minutes past that hour. That's what we're thinking about when all trains leave on the hour. So now we know that all the trains are going to be leaving on the O clock. That means that we need to start working out what time the clock shows to be able to answer question 1A. How long has it been since the last train left? So now we know that all trains leave on the hour means every train leaves at an O clock. We can look at our minute hand, the long hand, and we're looking at how far it's moved past the 12, which would be our no minutes or our O clock. Now if we look at our clock, we can see that for the minute hand to go all the way around, it's going to take 60 minutes. That means each number that hand is going to pass is going to be 5 of those 60 minutes. Because we've got 12 numbers, 60 divided by 12 would give us an answer of 5. 12 5s equals 60. So now if we count in those jumps of 5, we get 12 until 1, which is going to be 5 minutes, 1 until 2, which is going to be another 5 minutes, 2 until 3 is another 5 minutes, 3 until 4 is another 5 minutes, 4 until 5 another 5 minutes, and so on. So if we're looking at this, we can see that we have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, and finally 55 minutes. So it's been 55 minutes since that last train has gone. An alternative way of looking at this is the same as working out each one of those numbers equals 5 minutes. We could say if the minute hand is pointing at 11, it's past 11 lots of 5 minutes. And we can work out 11 times 5 gives us an answer of 55. So for that question, how long has it been since the last train left? We can see that it's been 55 minutes. Now for question 1b, we were asked how long will it be until the next train leaves? And once again, what we need to think about here is this idea that every train leaves on the hour. Now that all trains leave on the hour means every train leaves at an o'clock time. Now we can have a look at our clock and we can work out that we are between 11 and 12, which means we're after 11 but before 12, and we can count along again to work out that it's 11, 11:05, 11:10, 11:15, 11:20, 11:25, 11:30, 11:40, 11:45, 11:50, 11:55. So we know the time now is 11:55. So how many minutes is it going to be until the next train leaves? Well, so we know that every train leaves on the hour, on the o'clock. So that means if I turn up at 2 seconds past 11 o'clock, it's going to be 59 minutes until my next one. Each one of these then is going to be another 5 minutes closer to that next departure time. So if we look, 60 take away 5, if I turn up at this time, I'll be 55 minutes to the waiting time. 50 minutes. So you'll see now, because I'm waiting to see how long it is until a time, I know that one full rotation is 60 minutes, and each jump I'm going to subtract 5 away from it. So if I turned up at 11:15, I'd be 45 minutes wait. If I turned up at 11:30, it'd be 30 minutes to wait. However, in this case, I've turned up at 11:55, which means there's a 5-minute wait. So the next train is going to leave at 12 o'clock. The time is now 5 minutes to 12, so it will be 5 minutes until the next train leaves. And before we leave this question, we've got our third bit of information where we get our passenger and she's pointing out that she's been waiting for half an hour. So we now know what time the clock says, what time the analog clock is. We've learnt how to count on and count backwards in lots of 5. So now can you calculate and work out what time the passenger arrived using those strategies? So pause the video and then come and join me with your answer. So we know the time currently is 11:55, and we know that our passenger has been waiting for 30 minutes. So now we can simply jump back in lots of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So we know that our minute hand would be pointing to 5. And that tells us that our passenger didn't arrive at 11 o'clock, didn't arrive at 5 past, or 10 past, or 15 minutes past, or 20 past, but she arrived at 25 minutes past 11. So before you shoot off and complete the rest of the questions in your textbook and then move on to your independent workbook activity, let's just go over that strategy once more. So the first thing to be able to tell the time is the hand is between which two numbers. So in this case, you can see that the hand is between 11 and 12. Then think the time is after which number but before which. So in this case, the time is after 11, but before 12. Then I want you to be thinking about that long hand of a minute hand. How many numbers has it moved past? So in this case we can see that it's moved past 11 numbers. And we know that there are 5 minutes between each number. So in this case we've got 11 lots of 5, which is 11 times 5, which gives us an answer of 55 minutes. So the time in this case is 55 minutes past 11. So now you're ready to complete those textbook questions and then move on to your independent activity. And be thinking about how that 5 times table can help you with these different questions today. So good luck, and I look forward to seeing your answers.